Sometimes we don't even realize how much clutter can affect our mental health, but it can also feel impossible to tackle if we don't know where to begin. So, today we're going to talk about a quick way to clear out small spaces in your home so you can start decluttering and making progress. Plus, it is perfect timing because we have our declutter challenge starting this week in our free Facebook community. So, I will be getting you those details as well.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
The declutter challenge in our community has been a long time coming. We've done this several times before and people love it. And we have gotten a lot of requests to do it again. So we finally have been able to put the plan into place, get it set up, and we are ready to go. So if you're listening to this in real time, I invite you to come and join us. If you're not already in that group, you can go to theroutineadvantagecommunity.com and request to join. Make sure you do answer the questions so we know you are a real person and not spam so that we can get you into the group as soon as possible. And then that way you can make sure that you can see all the details that are posted. They will be in a pinned post at the top of the group, so it'll be easy to find. And you will be able to download a printable tracker as well that will help you stay on task. You don't have to have access to a printer if you're like, I can't print anything, so I can't do it. Like, that's not the case. We will still be posting each of the posts in the group daily, or each of the challenges, I should say, the task in the group daily. So you can check in there if you need to as well. And then you're going to be posting in there that you have completed the task. But the goal of this challenge, we're going to run it for 14 days. And the goal of the challenge is to allow you to be able to declutter a small space in your home in 15 minutes or less, and to do one task per day for 14 days. So it's really exciting because it starts to give us the ability to start making a dent and knowing that we can make progress in small chunks of time. So we're going to start this challenge on Wednesday, January 14th. Who says you have to start on a Monday? Okay. Like, we're going to start it midweek, just because that's how it worked out for our schedule. So hopefully that will work out for you as well. So we're going to start it Wednesday, January 14th, and it's going to run for 14 days. So the last day will be Tuesday, January 27th. And then you will have the rest of that week through Saturday, January 31st to drop off your donations for extra bonus entries, because we have 3 prizes to give away and there is no purchase necessary to enter anything. Like, this is just a free challenge that we're doing in the group to help you guys get a head start on getting and like making progress. So it's going to be really fun. It's always a ton of fun. It's always a good way to just refresh your house. And if you are starting 2026 and things are feeling a little cluttered, or you just took down your Christmas decorations and you're wanting to tackle some spaces in your home, this is the perfect time to start. So you can go to the show notes if you need to click the link to get to the group. Otherwise, like I said, you can go to theroutineadvantagecommunity.com and get all the details there. So now with our episode today, we're going to be talking about how to start small when dealing with clutter. And whether or not you participate in the challenge with us, you can still make progress. So if you want some help and you want some accountability and you want to potentially win some prizes and you just want that jump start, come join us in the challenge. Otherwise, you can make progress on your own as well. It just takes a simple plan to get started. So first of all, if you are trying to start small when dealing with clutter, I would recommend you first get a box, and you can put it in your basement, you can put it in your laundry room, you can put it in your entryway, wherever you are wanting to put it, but get a box that is designated for donations. The reason you want this box is not to clutter up a space in your home. And you can put it in the garage too, depending on what space you have. Like, you know your house better than I do, so feel free to put it wherever you think is best. But what you're going to want to do is have a box set and designated for donations. The reason this is super helpful is that when you are going through your home, when you come across something that it's like, I don't need this anymore, or we should really get rid of this, don't worry about putting it back down and dealing with it later. Just take it directly to your box. You have a spot for it, take it to your box and put it in the box. And that's all you have to do. And just keep moving through your day. But every time you come across something that you know you don't need anymore, put it in the box, because it takes this small habit to start getting things out of your home rather than pushing it off for later. Because if we just continue to push it off for later, it becomes a bigger problem than we need. So if we have a designated box and we put things in there as we come across them, this box is going to fill up much faster than you realize. And especially if you tell your family members about this box, then when they want to get rid of stuff too, they can just put it in there as well. And then not only are you going to get that box somewhere in your home and tell your family about it, but you're also going to schedule a time on the calendar to drop off that box or whatever donation items you have with your box and drop it off. So you're not going to be forgetting about it. You're actually going to have a time scheduled on your calendar. This can be once a month, it can be once a week, it can be once a quarter, it can be once a year, whatever works for you. Obviously, you're probably going to want to do it more than once a year, but you really want to find a time that works well for you. And if you have something that's, a regular date where you are driving by this place that you can donate items to, whether it's a Goodwill or a thrift shop or wherever you're going to be dropping these items off, plug it on the calendar with that item. So let's say you are going to the dentist every, 6 months, then if you're driving by the donation center when you are going to the dentist, when you schedule your dentist appointment, schedule a little block of time ahead of your dentist appointment or after your dentist appointment as your donation drop and get it on your calendar. And then every time you schedule a dentist appointment, you're scheduling a donation drop off. And then you know that when you are leaving for the dentist, you have to make sure all of your donations are in your vehicle and you'll have time to drop those off. And it's just a regularly scheduled event as you are moving forward with anything. So obviously, you can look at your calendar and see what works best for you and where your donation center is. If it's really close by, maybe you want to do drop offs more often. But really, those are the two things you're going to start with is you're going to get a box in your home and then you're going to schedule a time on your calendar of when you can do drop-offs. And then you're going to move on and you are going to create a list of all of the spaces in your home that you feel like could be sorted through or decluttered, but make it simple. So we're not going to say the, guest room needs to be decluttered, but what do you actually have in the guest room that needs to be sorted through? Is it a dresser? Is it a nightstand? Is it a closet? Is it a bookshelf? Like, what is it in that room that needs to be organized and decluttered? Because that is the list you're going to create for yourself because it's going to make it a lot easier. Yes, it might be a longer list, but it's going to be simpler tasks because it's going to be a small space that's going to feel easier to tackle when you are feeling overwhelmed or you're running short on time. So, create your list of small spaces or areas that you want to tackle, and then try and give yourself a goal to complete each task between or within. So, if you are creating a list, try and think of okay, if I can create a list of all of the tasks I can get done, and if I really push myself, I can get these done in 15 minutes or less, or I can get these done in 20 minutes or less, or 10 minutes or less. Like give yourself a goal and then as you're creating your list, think about that time frame so that when you go to actually complete a task off of your list, you can set your timer for, 15 minutes and then go through that area as quickly as possible to try and beat your time of 15 minutes and then get it off your list. Like check it off your list, move on to the next thing. You can do one task a day, you can do one task a week, you can do 3 tasks a day, like whatever works best for your schedule. But this is a way that you can break it down into smaller steps and actually start to make progress when you start getting those things off of your list because you're going through them just little bits at a time because that's what's doable for most of us. And then the last thing I want to just mention is that you want to have a plan when you're going through each space or area. I really love kind of focusing on 4 steps, and I call this the declutter method because it works for pretty much any space in your home to declutter it. So, what you're gonna wanna do when you pick a spot and you set your timer and you go through that space, you don't wanna just be randomly picking things up and moving things around and putting it into bins. Like, if you're not actually getting rid of the things that you need to get rid of, we're really just organizing our mess. And we don't want to be doing that. We want to actually be intentional about what we're keeping and what we're organizing and how we're getting rid of stuff to actually make progress, because we don't want to just be moving things around to organize our mess only to have it just completely overwhelm us later and have to do it all over again. So, what we want to do is we want to be intentional about how we're going through each space. And what I like to do is go through these 4 steps. Is number 1, you want to remove, and you're going to remove everything and take it all out, and then you're going to clean out your space. So if you are going through, let's say, a desk drawer, you're going to take everything out of the drawer and you're going to wipe down the drawer and clean it. And then you're going to move to step 2, which is to choose. And this is where you look at all the items you removed and you're only going to pick out the items that you want to keep, and you set those aside because those are going to be the items that you are going to hold on to. And now we're going to tackle the rest of the items that we had pulled out that we're not going to keep. So then we move it to step 3. And this is where we take all of the remaining items and we are going to bag them or box them or whatever you need to do to get rid of it. So you can put them in your donation bin, you can put them right in the trash. If you need a little pile of that, it just goes somewhere else in your home and you need to put it away, like that's what you can do now. You just need to get rid of what is remaining. So go ahead and box it up or bag it up and for donation, trash, or to put away somewhere else in your home. And then you're going to move to step 4, which is to take the pile of items that is remaining that you're going to keep, and this is where you organize and categorize and put it back into the drawer. So if you are looking at a desk drawer of a bunch of like office supply items, we're not just going to take all of the items we're going to keep and just throw them back in the drawer. We want to make them a little bit organized so that we understand what we're doing. So maybe we have little bins, or maybe you're going to like bunch things up and wrap them in a rubber band, or whatever you need to do to get it as organized as possible as you put it back into its home, because these are the items you're going to keep in that drawer. So maybe you have little bins where you put all of the writing utensils in, and a little bin where you put, paper clips and little like claw clamps, and then you have a little bin that has all of your like your post-it notes or things like that, and you just organize everything and put it back in the drawer. And then you are completely done, and you hopefully you are done before your timer goes off. So no matter what area of your home you are doing, you can use this same step-by-step method and work your way throughout the area to get through it really quickly, intentionally, and actually make progress by getting rid of what you don't need. For me, I find it's much easier to go through a space and actually pick out what I want to keep rather than what I want to get rid of, because it's a lot harder to pick through and say, oh, I don't need this anymore. It's a lot easier to look at a pile and say, I do need this, I do need this, I do need this. I don't I don't need to look at the rest. Like the rest can just go, because it's going to be harder for me to say no and get rid of it. So if that is you, if you've had a hard time with that, then this is a really great way to do that. So those are my tips on how you can start small when you are dealing with clutter. Like I said, you can join us in the challenge, and we have this, little list of for 14 days that you can start with if you need to, and then go through and continue this process throughout other areas of your home. But at least with this challenge, you can get started with a small list and then make progress from there. But no matter what you're doing, whether or not you join us for the challenge, the way that I would suggest that you can start small when dealing with clutter is number 1, set up a box for donations and schedule a time on your calendar to do a drop off. And then number 2, you're going to create a list of small spaces and areas in your home that you want to tackle, and to give yourself a time goal, keeping it super short and simple so that you can do these tasks easily in short blocks of time. So just create your list that you can work off of, and that will help you stay on track and show that you are making progress throughout your home. And then number three is to focus on a method that helps you to declutter. And if you want to use the same method that I use, you can go focus on these 4 steps. It is remove, choose, bag it or box it, and then organize and categorize. And that is to number one, remove all of the items and clean the area or space. Number two is to choose. So you want to pick the items out that you want to keep and set them aside. And then number three is to bag or box the rest of the items. So anything that is left over that you're not keeping, you want to get rid of it. So you're going to either put it in your donation, your trash, or to put it in a pile of items that need to be put away in the rest of your home if they are not where they are, or they're where they're supposed to be, I should say. And then number four is to organize and categorize. So take the pile that you are keeping and then organize them by category and get them back into that space in a more organized fashion. So I hope that that was helpful for you. I hope that you come and join us for the declutter challenge. It would be exciting to have you in there, and I will catch you back here on the next episode.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.